Hey, how's it going everyone? This is YLAM here. In today's Fuji Friday, we're going to be talking about a lot of camera body rumors because it has been pretty exciting for the last couple of days. Sorry for this video being a day late because I was traveling for CES 2020 and I just got back. A little jet lagged and not feeling very well, but there is a lot of things that I do want to talk about for this Fuji Friday. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first one we're going to talk about, of course, is going to be the X-T4. I've already talked about in previous videos that I expected an X-T4 to come out in 2020. It's usually going to be later in the year, but Fuji Rumors has reported that it's going to be announced first quarter of this year, and it should be available in March, which means it's actually coming out unexpectedly early, which is a really good thing for a couple of reasons. Number one, as I talked about in my previous Fuji Fridays, right now there is no camera in the current market with IBIS, and with the X-T4 rumored to have IBIS, that kind of fulfills that niche. As I said before, IBIS technology is definitely really important for photo and videos. It is not absolutely required, but it is definitely super useful. So having a camera body that can replace the X-H1, really great signs right there. Now there are other rumors stating that it's going to have 6K, it's going to have anamorphic, it's also going to have an articulating screen. I really don't know if it's a replacement for the X-T3 or the X-H1 or the combination of both of those cameras, but we'll find out more in February or March. The next camera body we can talk about is the Fuji X100V or V, depending on how you want to talk about it. This is the fifth version of this camera in which it has an attached lens. So it's a great travel lens. It's a great grab and go camera lens. A lot of people use it for street photography because of its compact nature, and you don't really have to worry about bringing more lenses with you because that decision has been made for you. The rumor is that it's going to have a new lens attached to it because the sensors and the processors has gotten so much better that they've decided to upgrade that lens. Personally, this is not my type of camera body, so I probably won't be getting it, but I know there's a niche that really loves this type of camera body, and there has been a lot of award-winning pictures that have come out of this particular camera system right here. So I'm sure within the Fuji community, a lot of people are looking forward to upgrading their camera bodies to this new one. But if they are replacing the camera lens with the same focal length, most likely with better glass, then I think a lot of people will be attracted to this camera body. We really don't know a lot of details about this particular camera body because there just hasn't been a lot of rumors about that. But as more come out, I'll definitely talk about it. But again, I'm not going to dive deep into this particular camera body because I've never owned any of the camera bodies in this particular system because it's just not my type of camera. As many of you know, on this channel, I specifically use all of the Fuji bodies for video purposes. On the photography side, I mostly use these camera body as an enthusiast, every once in a while professionally, but that's more because I'm helping somebody else, not because I want to pick up work for photography on a professional level. The last camera body that I want to talk about is the X-T100. So this is a very interesting line because it's a step above the XA line, but it's a step below most of the XT cameras. So it kind of has an entry-level feel, but it has some of the nice high-end features from the XT line, and of course it had the first flippy screen. This particular camera system had the best of both worlds when it comes to how you can adjust that back screen, but unfortunately that implementation was never adopted by any of the other cameras. So now that they're moving to the X-T200, hopefully they will continue with that nice back screen design, and they'll just update all of the internal technology to what we expect from Fujifilm, which would be great because the X-A7 is a very capable entry-level camera. I'm expecting somewhere between $700 and $1,000, so somewhere between an X-A7 and X-T30, which that's really not a whole lot of room to play with in terms of pricing. I'm definitely interested in the X-T200 because it looks like it could be a direct upgrade to the X-A7 if you needed a camera that just does a little bit more, because the X-A7 is a bit basic. It does take away a whole lot of the camera features that I do like from the X-T30. So hopefully it'll have a nice blend between the X-A7 and the X-T30, and it'll be priced in between there, but with that nice flippy screen. We're going to need to know more information about that before I say anything else. So there's really a lot of great camera bodies coming out in the first quarter of this year, or at least it's getting announced. But as a YouTube content creator, I'm not really going to complain because there's plenty of things to talk about, and we get to see where Fujifilm is moving in terms of technology very early on in 2020, which is always really nice because that generally means there's going to be a couple of more announcements later this year, and it could potentially be a whole lot of different things. Keep in mind, we haven't even talked about Fujifilm's updating their lens lineup for 2020 and 2021, and also possible firmware updates for the X-T3 and the X-T30. Hopefully they will be coming sometime in 2020 soon. So there's definitely a lot of exciting news to track. Anyhow, that's all I want to talk about this week. Sorry for the late video. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.